Let's go to the phone lines now. I think we've got Ben Leard with us. Ben, you there with us, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Ben, what's going on, man? You're here with I tell you what, it's me and Andy Graham here this afternoon, and glad that you were able to take some time out to talk about this Auburn football team heading out to Pasadena on January the 6th. Andy and I were just talking, Ben. This senior class has an opportunity to do something that really nobody's had a chance to do in Auburn history, and that's bookend their careers with national championships. Already have 2 SEC championships under their belt, but to be able to win 2 national championships, have an opportunity to do it is something spectacular.
Well, I mean, I think you guys said it best. It's a testament to the leadership of not only from the coaches, but it's a testament to this class. And they came in a situation, and you go back and look. When they were considering Auburn, it was a difficult decision for them because they were coming in on the tail end of what was not a successful ending for Tommy Tuberville. So they actually took a leap of faith just to come play at Auburn. So they come in, they win a national title in 2010, and then on the flip side of it, they go 3-9. The worst SEC outing that you would say in Auburn history, not winning an SEC contest in 2012, and then here they are playing against Florida State in the national championship game. So they have gone to both sides of the spectrum. That is for sure. And you guys are probably like me. I couldn't be more proud to support these kids.
No, I think you're right, Ben. And when we both were in school down there at Auburn together, and you were quarterback, and you were taking over after Damian Craig, and you could attest to this. I mean, the highs and lows of having good and bad seasons, and in '98 just wasn't the year that any of us hoped it would be, and then we progressively got better when Coach Tuberville got in there, and in 2000, you guys. Just had a spectacular year, went on and played in the SEC championship game, wasn't able to win that game, but still to get the program back and to move on and play in a big bowl game was huge.
Well, to try to get it to the prominence at which it had risen to and under Coach Dye and Coach Jordan in those days, and really and truly, it's one of those deals that you always are at the point of you are essentially representing the guys that wore that uniform before you. And, to have a coaching staff that kind of portrays that and they issue that message to you as a football player, it always gives you a really, really proud moment to be able to accomplish an appearance in the SEC championship, to be able to accomplish an appearance in a bowl game of national prominence. And obviously these kids have done that. We were very fortunate to have done that during my tenure, playing in the Citrus Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, different things like that. But this is obviously the BCS appearance in these days, it's another level. In 2004, you go to the Sugar Bowl. Obviously in 2010, they win the BCS national title, and then this year we all have the high expectations of them finishing the test or finishing the drill and beating Florida State in a few weeks.
Well, Ben, Auburn has done pretty incredible things this year offensively, and Gus Malzahn has come in with his scheme and just put all the right parts in the right places, it seems. From a SEC quarterback's perspective, what is it that has made this offense so prolific on the ground?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and this is a term that can be consistent with all of the kids, and on and off the field, is discipline. In this offense, it takes a tremendous amount of discipline, whether it be with your eyes or body language, or most importantly with the football, to have it be successful. And they talk about the pace at which you operate with, the fast pace, the hurry up, no huddle is the common cliche term that's applied to Coach Malzahn and Coach Lashley's offensive strategy. But the biggest thing is being able to understand what you want to do with the football, having the sense enough and be ball secure enough to do it when the defense gives you the opportunity. Case in point is the touchdown pass that Nick Marshall threw to Sammy Coates to tie the game at 28 in the Iron Bowl. That is a predetermined play call. But within that play call, that is option number 3. So for your player, as in Nick Marshall, to have the sense about him, have the ball skills and have that knowledge about the play and the offense and the defense and what to expect, to be able to execute that takes a tremendous amount of discipline and preparedness. And I think these kids obviously have done that because Coach Malzahn is so repetitious. He's so prepared in everything that he does that it just continues to carry down to these kids.
We got Ben Leard on the phone with us, former Auburn quarterback. And Ben, let's look forward to this game here and the intangibles and how this game plays out. Obviously, you can look at stats and all on paper, and we've done that every week here on this show. And a lot of times the stats favor maybe the other team, but Auburn finds a way to come up with wins, and especially here in the last month against Georgia and Alabama and Missouri in the SEC championship game. But let's look at this Florida State team. And, to me, one of the things, and not being an Auburn homer, just kind of looking at it from an outsider's perspective, to me, you got to go with a team, or you got to like a team that is a little bit more, I guess, battle-tested like an Auburn versus a Florida State, not cutting anybody down that Florida State's played, but they just haven't played the level of competition. So with that being said, Ben, is there a chance that Florida State gets out there and gets in the pace of this game and the physicality of the way Auburn plays up front and offensive line maybe catches them off guard a little bit?
I think that's an honest assessment. I really do, and I don't think that's even you, Brett, being a homer about it. That's up front, being out there, being transparent, and when you match conference to conference, it's not even close. And what I think is going to happen, what I would perceive may be what's going to happen in the first quarter, the first couple of drives, is that Florida State's going to really get a real live introduction to the pace of this offense. Their defense is not going to be one that can say they honestly were prepared for this type of speed, and not necessarily from speed with regards to 4-3s, 4-4s, and that kind of stuff as far as the personnel, but the pace at which they operate. That's something that you cannot emulate in practice. Your scout team guys do not have the speed, the pace at which you want to operate with. As a defensive coach, the biggest thing that you have to do, and the battle that you face internally is, all right, the first question you ask yourself as a defensive coach, do I want my scout team to run plays as fast as they possibly can? Well, if you do that, you cut down on the amount of coaching time that you have with your defensive players. So if they make a defensive decision that is a mistake on play one, then you're going to let that compound itself by 5 or by 10 plays, and then go back and coach them. You're darned if you do and darned if you don't. Well, then if you want to coach your kids up after every single offensive scout play, then you're cutting down on the preparedness and the time and the pace. So you're darned if you do and darned if you don't as far as preparation. Auburn is going to have to take advantage of that shock and awe factor of the pace on the offensive side of the football. They're going to have to take advantage of it early on because at some point it is going to be adjusted too. It's going to shake itself out. But, you look at Florida State and you talk about the conference, they are in a weaker conference. Make no bones about it. But if they were in the SEC, they would be in the upper echelon of this conference. They would be in the top 5 teams, I would say. I don't feel as if they would have beaten everybody by 40 points. They might possibly be undefeated, but they would have been tested week in and week out. And, it all remains to be seen whether or not they could survive the gauntlet that is the SEC East or even the SEC West. So offensively, Auburn's got their work cut out for them. Florida State's defensive front, and as well as their linebackers, led by Telvin Smith and Terrence Smith and Christian Jones, of course, they've got a lot of speed on the edges. They're very physical. But if you look at the offensive they've faced, they haven't had the opportunity to really defend against a smash-mouth running game. Only one was Boston College, and they gave up a lot of yards on the ground. But defensively, by alignment, there are things that Florida State did versus Duke, Virginia Tech, and even Miami and Boston College that really forced the hand of the offensive players to take slots. They give up slot throws a lot of times because if you have success in the running game, they cheat their safeties and they bring those linebackers in to load the box. So look for Auburn to really do a lot with bubble screens, some of the quick release plays to get Nick the opportunity to throw the ball to Ricardo and Quan in the slot to make them force that backer out of the box, and then that will open up, obviously, Trey Mason and Cameron Artis-Payne and Corey Grant on some of those inside plays as well. Offensively, Florida State's, they're good. mean, they're one of the best in the country, obviously led by Jameis Winston, and can do a lot of things with the football. They're going to have to get pressure with the front four. If Auburn does not get pressure with Lawson and Ford and Igwe and those guys, it's going to be a long night, because you cannot rely on the blitz to affect Jameis Winston, because of what he has the ability to do is just throw the ball up there and allow guys like Kelvin Benjamin to just go up and make plays. They got to get pressure with the front four and be successful there. But I think the other fact of the matter is, Florida State's offensive front hadn't faced a defensive front like Auburn's this year either. While we talk about the offensive pace of Auburn, the physicality in the SEC on the defensive side of the ball is unmatched. So you're going to have a tough test on both sides of the ball, on the front four or for Florida State, as well as the offensive front for Florida State, to really get a test or a taste of what the SEC is like, for sure.
Well, Ben, that's a lot of good stuff there, and I agree with you. Those are the definite keys to watch on both sides of the football for both teams to see who's able to pull it out on January the 6th. It's just good to be there for sure right now, but definitely now that we're there, we want to win the football game, and hey, you want to win it when you get there, because and you know, Gus Malzahn, I feel like Auburn's going to have shots to get back again with the way this team is, and especially coming back next year with what they return. I feel like the expectations will be very high for another good season. But, Ben, we appreciate you being on the program, and look forward to having you back again soon, okay?
Anytime, guys. War Eagle.
War Eagle.